This is the headline from the Conservative Tribune. I saw this on Infowars.com, and I said to myself, this is so incredible, I got to check this for myself. And sure enough, ladies and gentlemen, it was true. It was true. I went to where they linked to in the article that's linked on Infowars.com, and I got the Western Journal, and then it linked through to the LA Times Assembly Bill 2943 with a straight face. It says, well, you know, we've banned using the word he or she or mother or father from government documents because it might hurt someone if they have a mother or father or didn't have a mother or father or aren't a he or a she. So you've got to use these weird new science fiction sounding pronouns, G, Z, all this stuff that sounds like Chinese. Well, now they're saying any books that say mean things about alternative lifestyles that are now the dominant lifestyles, I guess, are going to be banned. Just like Canada's arrested hundreds of preachers that read passages out of the Bible, speaking out against homosexuality. So again, Islam can do it all day, but if Christians do, they're going to get arrested. When you think about the censorship and outright banning of books and opinions, do you imagine the United States of America? Or more likely does the kind of suppression strike you as the tactics of communists or fascists that America has frequently fought against? If a liberal lawmaker in California gets their way, the West Coast state may be one step closer. It's always like one person, but then a few years later, it's law. One step closer to being unrecognizable as part of the United States. A bill currently pending in the legislature would essentially ban the sale of books that include traditional Christian views on marriage and sexuality. And I've looked at the bill. Shockingly, the proposed law would be construed to make it illegal to sell Bibles since they include verses that far left finds unacceptable. Let's look at the actual text of the bill. Assembly Bill 2943 would make it an unlawful business practice to engage in a transaction intended to result or the results in the sale that leads to goods or services to a consumer that advertises, offers, or engages in or do engage in sexual orientation change efforts with an individual, explained the National Review. And it goes into how that what that language means. But let's explain this. It's just like all the lawsuits going on in the country because a hotel won't let people have a gay orgy. Now, the very same hotel won't let there be a heterosexual orgy, too. They find out there's swinger parties going on the 10th floor every Saturday night. You see it on the news all the time. It's banned. But when there's a gay orgy, oh, you got to keep it. Or you don't bake a gay couple's cake, $500,000. But if you're a Christian or conservative, you can be banned off the web. That's what this is, and it deals with literature. Let me just read to you some of the incredible headlines that we've got here. ISIS used chemical weapons in Syria at least 52 times, UN report says, New York Times. Now, remember, they're telling you unanimously on CNN and Fox News that Assad used chemicals with no proof. Now, this is just out today by Zero Hedge, linking to the website of the OPCW, the Western U.S. European-backed Prohibition of Chemical Weapons Organization. The Organization of Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. They said that they were blocked by rebels shooting at them, not the Russians that invited them in, and that they are collating data to see who launched the chemical attack. And in previous reports, just like the UN, they have said that it was the rebels launching the chemical attacks, not Assad. Yeah, you can look at motive. Assad's won. The Russians are pulling out. The U.S. is pulling out. Why would you nerve gas 50 civilians? It's amazing. So we're going to look at that. Nunes says DNC lawsuit is a scam. Just like all these lawsuits, but they've still got to be fought. But they're total frauds on their face. Oh, and meanwhile, Germany's largest public TV news broadcaster says Syria chemical attack most likely staged after they went to Duma and also interviewed experts on the ground in Syria. And, of course, we have videos of people in the hospital that day saying, no, they came and grabbed us, said, do you want free food? We're going to dump water on your head. And they interview kids that are on TV, supposedly dead, days later, without the makeup on, without the green makeup, saying, no, they gave me candy bars. They gave me dates. They gave me food and said I had to be part of this. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge on that front. We're going to be breaking that down, that the whole latest Syria chemical attack is going like all the others to be proven to be staged. Just like history shows, just like motive shows, just like facts show. But meanwhile, ISIS threatens satanic CNN, the Federal Reserve, Universal Studios, and NASA. So now when there's attacks, you see, on Hollywood and the rest of it, oh, see, Hollywood are good guys. People always ask, why don't the terrorists, why do they always target some random federal building or always target some Christian church? Why don't they ever target the Federal Reserve or UN? Well, now we've got big colored photos put out by, put up by ISIS showing them shooting at CNN, even though CNN backed the Arab Spring. They backed the ISIS attacks. They've backed the whole takeover. Obama backed ISIS invading and stood down and funded them. Hillary did. But now you see they're fighting them. For TV viewers, let's do a document cam shot, and I can show folks the entire shot. There it is. With a so-called ISIS fighter with a heavy machine gun shooting at the Federal Reserve and CNN. So now you see them lining up the false flags against those groups to make them victims, just like the feds bombed Oklahoma City in 1995. I've interviewed the witnesses, the police officers, everybody involved. We know exactly how they did it, and I stand by that. That's why the media never challenges me on saying Oklahoma City was a false flag, because they know who was involved. They know who covered it up. They know exactly what happened. So we've got that information. Continuing, worried about Facebook having too much data about you? Google has enough to make 7-foot, 9-inch pile of paper every 2 weeks, which they then sell to the highest bidder. Their main job is data mining. And by the media, the mainstream legacy corporate media, by the dinosaur media, focusing foolishly on Cambridge Analytica and its primitive data mining just for names of conservatives to mail them letters to get them mobilized from public data mining. The internal data mining of Google, Facebook, Twitter, and down the line, in some cases is estimated to dwarf the NSA, and they sell it to whoever wants it. Isn't that just darling? Isn't that just sweet? And now it's all coming out for the world and everybody else to see. I kind of like how you put the documents behind me. That's what the video wall's for, that. Whenever you want, just to the crew in there. Again, radio listeners are getting the kind of one-dimensional thing. That's kind of more relaxing. You get to just hear the info, kind of imagine it for yourself. But if you go to Infowars.com/show or different TV stations around the country, you can actually see what we're talking about here on air, not just believe that I'm saying it. Because I'd claimed 20 years ago on radio that I had a news article saying something, and people wouldn't believe me. People wouldn't believe me. But nowadays, well, they can all get forced to face it for themselves.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of the Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.